fellow YouTubers, welcome to today's edition of YouTube Gaming Community. Obviously the first change you notice is that I've shortened the title to YTGC just because it covers up the rest of the title of the video. It makes it so long. I just like it that way. Of course the number is still going to be there at the end of it. And of course the other change today would be that I've also put in video game challenge number whatever, trivia challenge number whatever in today's video, and then tomorrow when I do the video game challenge I'll put whatever game it is in the title. So before I get to all that, this weekend I was working on my son's swing set, one of those fun swing sets that basically, here's all the wood, here's the instructions, here's the tools, do it all yourself. No holes drilled, no nothing. So for the last 4 days, been working on it. It's finally almost done. But this weekend I got a game. It was funny because we were at a friend's house for a barbecue, and the same friend has been asking me about this, getting this game over and over again. And I keep bringing it up, to the wife, and she's just like, whatever, what they do. So we're there at the barbecue, so I go, my wife doesn't want me to get the game, so that's why I haven't got it yet. She's like, well, you never asked. I go, well, we've been talking about it for 3 months now. So I ask, and of course she does the old, doesn't answer the question. Well, later on, finally, so can I get her now? She said yes. And the game I got was none other than Diablo 3. Simply put, I really don't want to make the video right now. I just want to play this game. I love Diablo 2, and I'm quite frankly addicted to this game, so you know what I'll be doing when I'm not making videos. So, let's get to the trivia questions for last week. And the first one was, Bowser in the Mario game series is also called this name in the earlier titles, which quite simply anybody who's played the Mario games would know it's King Koopa. Second question, I thought more people would have a harder time with this question than they did, and that was Crazy Otto was the original name for this popular coin-op, and that was Miss Pac-Man. The third question, besides being on the Atari coin-op arcade games, Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey was also on this console, which this is, simply put, I played this game a lot on this console, and that was the Nintendo 64. I just love getting in fights in this game, and I love this hockey game. It was one of my favorite hockey games at the time. And number 4, the last published EA Sports MVP Baseball featured this player on the cover. Now, this is the one a lot of people got confused with. Because when I said MVP Baseball, they're like, well, do you mean MVP? They were going these other sports. I just meant baseball. And the last athlete was Manny Ramirez. And the fifth question was, cars from this manufacturer didn't appear in Gran Turismo for the Sony PlayStation. I probably should have worded this question better, like, what probably erotic car company or what expensive car company maybe? And the car company would have been Ferrari. Okay, so here's the 5 questions for this week. See if you can get it right. The first one is, this 1983 coin-op version of Pole Postion II features how many race circuits in the game? Question number 2. What game features SSX3 as a video game that you can buy to help furnish your house? The key word is house here. Number 3. What are the names of the 2 warrior heroes in the Contra game for the NES? One of my favorite games of all time. So basically, who are the 2 playable characters in Contra for the NES? Number 4. Wario first appeared as the final boss in this Nintendo title. One for you Nintendo fans out there. And the last one, because I just got a Blizzard game, I had to throw a Blizzard question in here. In 1992, Blizzard Entertainment released this puzzle platformer video game. Well, there are your questions. Have fun trying to answer them. Now, before I get to our videos to check out, let's quite honestly get to a topic that, quite frankly, either everybody's been Twittering about, Facebooking about, getting on social media about, or quite frankly making videos about, and that is, quite frankly, the sub situation on YouTube. Anybody who's read YouTube's blog or passed stuff around knows that for several weeks YouTube has basically been purging the dead, inactive channels on YouTube. Something a lot of people in our community have been wanting to be done for a long time. To show people's true numbers, not in some cases fabricated numbers to make their channels look bigger than they really are. And YouTube is doing this. you got to remember, YouTube has been around for 7 years, so the longer you've been on YouTube, the more likely you're going to lose a lot of channels, unless you went and purged through your channel list yourself, which a lot of people didn't do. The problem is, the side effect of this, for some reason, it seems to have been that some people are getting unsub from channels. Now, I've had this happen to me, a channel here or there over the time I've been on YouTube, but in this case, it seemed to be a lot of people were having this happen. And I don't doubt it did happen. I don't doubt that no matter what their best precautions they took, that some people are getting unsubbed from channels. The thing that a lot of people floated out there was YouTube was unsubbing people who haven't watched somebody's videos on their channel for a long time, which would make no sense to me if they do this, because I may sub to your channel because I eventually I kind of like what you do. I see maybe a potential there, or I might at least keep track of what you're doing, and maybe I only watch a video once a year on your channel, but I still watch one. If they were to unsub you because you didn't watch channels, then what would be the point of subbing to a channel then if I had to watch your videos all the time? Now, if those guys want to know somebody to contact to let them know that you did if you really know that you got unsubbed from a channel, go check out Steve Benway's channel. Go watch his Last Friday Talkie. He has information on someone on Google Plus where you can actually contact from YouTube if the situation happened to you. So, a lot of people's numbers are coming down because, quite frankly, a lot of these channels were dead. I mean, my numbers have drastically dropped. Don't get me wrong, it does suck. You kind of maybe you look at your subscriber list, or maybe you look at, I don't know, maybe you go to one of those websites that keeps track of daily views and monthly views and subscribers, and you see that you're negative by a lot. So, it's just something that 7 years without purging channels, it's finally time for them to get rid of all the garbage, and so a lot of numbers are going to affect people. Not going to affect views, though I'm not entirely sure that's entirely true. I mean, the YouTube system doesn't work right. I mean, we all know we have to go find channels. We don't always get the channels delivered, videos delivered us the way we want it to, but it is what it is. Now, let's get to the videos to check out. And the first video to check out is from cessnaace, video game ads, including Atari Lynx Homebrew for 5/29/2012. Now, simply put, the Atari Lynx Homebrew he has in this video is JQ, J-A-K-U. If you've never seen the artwork for this, go check out the video. It's really cool. Quite frankly, cessnaace is one of those guys who always seems to be getting a homebrew game. That's why I love watching his channel. Next up, Locomanics 1HMPS. Snow Brothers is finally here with superb Speccy Bros. Speccy Bros is basically Snow Bros put on the Spectrum. So if you want to see it, want to know how to get it, go check out the video. Next up, I had to put this video in there because Metroid is one of my favorite games on the NES of all time, and that is HappyConsoleGamer-Metroid Memories. The simply hear Rob Man's story of Christmas Day and when he got Metroid is just an awesome story. I had to put the video in there. I love it, so go check it out. Now, the next two are kind of related with podcasts. The first one is that the Gaming Arena Central podcast had their first podcast now up on their channel. If you want to go see their announcements, like their website, again, their new co-host, which is SL Gaming Blog, go check it out, go listen to it. But another thing we're going to talk about is All Gen Gamers. Obviously, a lot of people in our community know their podcast, know who they are. First thing is, episode 94, they had Captain 8-Bit on, or aka the Game Chasers, and they talked about something I talked about before. If you really want to know the situation about them with Retroware TV, the real deal with Machinima, the story about how they got the person who made their T-shirts, and other possible stuff going on, go check it out. It's a really fun podcast to listen to. So, there have been some changes since All Gen Gamers since the last time I talked about it. Happy Council Gamer left All Gen Gamers because, quite frankly, he got engaged. He shooting the movie, which I know they now finally filmed. Principal shooting for that movie is done. And quite frankly, his channel and balancing all that with the podcast was hard, so he left. Temporarily, he said he left. But he was replaced by Metal Jesus Rock. So now the show consists of Jason Heine, a.k.a. the Yemi Review, Pete Dorr, GameStra81, and now Metal Jesus Rocks. And I honestly say, I do like Metal Jesus Rocks because he brings a lot more retro, more computer games, stuff that, quite frankly, being an older gamer, I'm interested in a lot. But again, that's their new podcast. That's their new lineup for the podcast. So if you're interested, go check it out. they've had some interesting guests on lately. They have interesting guys who are not just in the YouTube community, but are involved in video gaming. So if you guys are interested, go check that out. So guys, that is it for today. So far, no one has entered my Tecmo Super Bowl Challenge, so tomorrow there may not be any top 5 for it, but we will get to the next game, a game on a current-gen console for the challenge. So guys, I will talk to you all tomorrow. We are done!